Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson and this is pre-match analysis Manchester United against Crystal Palace. And actually the hardest game to really analyse and project on what's going to happen in the game is a game in this instance where you've had a team that's had an entire week to prepare. They've had a manager that's been in for only a couple of games. They've not scored a single goal. They're probably going to try a new system, so we can't look to what they've done in the past to what they're going to do today. Manchester United, I don't think you can also look to the past to what they're going to do today, although you can certainly do that a little bit more. I think United have got to pour forward in this one. I don't think that United can really play that traditional number 6, dual number 6s that we play in a 4-2-3-1. If anyone at all is needed as a midfielder, it's just one. It's just going to be Matic. They're so bad at the moment, Crystal Palace, that they're a threat. Because they're bad. Because they're going to have to try something completely out of the box to really get this game going. Their best players this season have been their two loanees. That's Timothy Fosu-Mensah and that's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Behind them, it's been Benteke. Those three players are missing. That's like taking Pogba, Lukaku and David De Gea out of the Manchester United side. It's going to have an effect on the result. Townsend has been trying stuff and it's not been coming off. Aside from that, there's really very little in there. And Timothy Fosu-Mensah, make no mistake, Timothy Fosu-Mensah has been their best player. His in-stat rating is the highest across every single players in that team throughout the season. The only one who comes close to him, as I said, is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and then recently Benteke. And actually, this makes no sense, but their best team performance was the 5-0 defeat against Manchester City. That's based on an in-stat rating of how many. Basically, it counts a lot of tackles and it counts all this sort of stuff. So because they was under threat constantly, there's a lot of players making tackles, and that helps bump up the rating. So what should we expect as Manchester United fans today then? Well, Roy Hodgson's not going to be a man that reinvents the wheel. He's not going to invent a new formation. He's not going to invent something really revolutionary. This is a guy that's been managing since the 70s. I'm sure the early coaching manuals that he's got still refer to the 2-3-5 formation that England used to play. And long ball was invented after he'd started managing. So that's probably revolutionary to him. He's going to come to Old Trafford in a 4-2-3-1. He might play a centre forward in the number 9 position. He might play a midfielder in the number 9 position who drops into midfield and effectively makes it a 4-2-4 formation. But that forward 4 effectively being a midfield. So it might be a 4. You could call it a 4-6-0, really, couldn't you? Because there's going to be 6 midfielders in there. If you're Roy Hodgson, the way to prevent you're not going to beat Manchester United, I don't think, unless you get lucky with a set piece. I think they're realistically saying, we can't win this game. We can't outgun Manchester United. And if that's what they're thinking, they're absolutely correct. Crystal Palace cannot outgun Manchester United. But how can they stop us winning? Because they can certainly do that. Now, we actually saw when was the first City goal? 44 minutes. Last week against Manchester City at home, and this is a City team that literally pours everybody forward. They kept it tight. They restricted them to having long shots. They restricted them to no space in and around the D and in the box. They are going to try and do that again. They will say, for half of that match, we kept them quiet. We just need to do it for another half of that match against Manchester United, and we come away with a point, which is like 5 points, isn't it? When you get a point at Old Trafford, they'll be celebrating in the corner like they've won the World Cup. That's exactly the tactic they're going to do. And the tactic that they used for that was 4-2-3-1. And the 4-2-3-1 with the addition of all of their good players. So they're just going to fill in with the more attacking, adventurous players with less attacking and less adventurous players and try and keep it tight. This is going to be a slugfest. This is probably going to be the team that comes to play. I mean, even Burton Albion actually tried to attack us the other week. So this is going to be, possibly to watch, one of the least entertaining games of the season if Crystal Palace have their way. That's what they want. That's what they want to happen. The way Manchester United counter that is by scoring an early goal. Now, obviously, you can't dictate when you score an early goal, but Manchester United need to start quickly. That's the thing that we can do. We need to start. We can't warm into the game. Manchester United need to attack first, attack with one-touch football in and around that box to create the space, because there won't be any space. We're going to have to make the space ourselves. Mkhitaryan, Mata, Lukaku, Martial if he starts. Well, I'd probably even play Rashford as well and sacrifice. I'd probably play Mkhitaryan as that other midfielder and just tell him to go forward, because they're not going to attack you. On paper, it might look like Mkhitaryan's playing as a 6. He won't be playing as a 6. He'll be playing in his usual position. But I would just flood the opposition box with Manchester United players and then just keep putting balls into there. It might be direct, it might be ugly, but this might be what we need to do to get the 3 points today. Because Crystal Palace, make no mistake, Crystal Palace will not venture past the halfway line. If they get a counter-attack, expect it to be that guy and another guy. They're not going to push the fullbacks forward. You're not going to see midfielders darting into the box last minute to try and get on the end of a cross. None of that. Right, before I go any further, I need to tell you that this video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball has been sponsoring my content for a long time, and they're going to continue to sponsor my content because you guys keep downloading the app when I tell you to. So the link is in the description below. Download OneFootball. It is a free app. It's got Opta-Stats on there. It's got all your fixtures, all your results, all the news from around the world. Get it on the alerts and get the breaking football news right to your mobile as and when you need it. It's a belting app. You guys are telling me that you enjoy it. It's a good app. I enjoy it. It is a good app. So link in the description below. Download the OneFootball app and help them out and let them know that it's worth sponsoring this channel. So how are Manchester United going to line up to counter-attack this? Well, to attack. No, there's no counter needed. To attack this Crystal Palace wall, because that's what we're going to be looking at. I think United probably should line up in a 4-3-3, but I don't think they will. The reason for lining up in a 4-3-3 is to play two 8/10s. People think that playing 4-3-3 is defensive. Well, it's not. If I hark back to that Barcelona side a few years ago, the one that had Xavi and Iniesta, Xavi was operating like a number 10 on one side, and you had Iniesta operating like a number 10, sort of dual pivots just on the edge of the box. That's the sort of 4-3-3 I'm talking about. I'm talking about a 4-3-3 where you've got Matic as the single defensive point, the fullbacks are bombing on, and the two number 8s are actually more like 8/10s, and they're pouring into the box, trying to get something happening, and then 3 attackers, obviously, attacking at the other end. 4-3-3 is not a defensive formation. I mean, Stoke used to play 4-3-3 when Barcelona played 4-3-3. They were totally different ways to play the formation. So it's not a defensive formation. Just because you're going, oh, actually, 3 midfielders versus 3 attackers, that's not as attacking as 4-2-3-1. It's all in the way that you set it up. So I would go with the balance on that side. Balance. I would go with having Mkhitaryan on one side, and I would go with having Ander Herrera on the other side. Because I think that he offers something going forward. He can play as a number 10. He played as a number 10 quite a lot for Athletic Bilbao. He's not his best position. His best position is a box-to-box patrolling number 8. But I think he can operate in the number 10 position and give him the freedom to try some dangerous balls into the box as well. You pair that with Juan Mata, Lukaku and Anthony Martial as your forward players looking to create, and you're probably going to see Herrera, Mkhitaryan and Mata make a bit of a 3 behind Martial as he comes inside, and obviously Lukaku. Those players then literally need to be playing one-touch quick football in and around the box. That's where you create everything. That's where you start to open a team up. That is where you start to make them chase shadows. And then we've got to take early shots. I wouldn't be taking shots from outside the box. They're really low yield. I think I read somewhere like only 4% of shots from outside the box result in a goal. It's not worth taking from United's point of view unless we're going to have, I don't know, 100 shots. So, and today could be one of those days. This could be Burnley. This could be Stoke from last season. It really could. It's going to be Alamo stuff for Crystal Palace. Backs to the wall. But Manchester United need to get into that box, and we need to start having shots from inside the box. No good having shots from outside the box. Don't waste a chance. Get inside the box, take your shots. The other opportunity for Manchester United to score goals in this game is definitely going to be from set pieces. We've been deadly from set pieces. Corners, free kicks, indirect free kicks. We've not been so hot on the direct free kicks. But indirect free kicks, crosses into the box, corners. Manchester United have been absolutely lethal. We've seen defenders scoring, we've seen midfielders scoring. United are a big team, way bigger than this Crystal Palace team. That's where we need to exploit them a little bit and try and get in and make some difference on those set pieces. And we can do this. I think it's going to be 2-0. I'd love to say it's going to be 4 or 5-0. It certainly could be 4 or 5-0. And the reason for that is an early goal. If we get an early goal, their heads are going to fall. They've been here before. And like what happened with City last week, they scored on the 44th, 51st, 59th, 70th and 80 odd minutes, right? So that's the way it could go with United. Once one goes in, the rest could follow pretty quickly. The longer they keep it out, the more they're gonna fight, and the harder it's gonna be for us to break them down because they're gonna smell their first point. This is a team that is so far adrift off the rest in the Premier League that they're gonna fight like you've never seen. So this could be a dull first half. Don't panic if it is. The way we remedy that is if we score an early goal changes it completely. And an early goal, I see United going putting 4 or 5 past them. But I also see this being 0-0 at half-time. And I'm not going to panic if it is, because I think that this is a team that's certainly coming to not play football against us. And it doesn't reflect badly off. If we beat them 1-0 and get 3 points, I guarantee a lot of City fans will be like, oh, you know, we put 5 past them. Doesn't matter, we got 3 points. Move on with your life. Sort your moustache out. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is the pre-game analysis. Tomorrow, the post-game analysis will probably be a little bit more interesting because there's not a lot I can analyse here because I know that it's all going to change. So the post-game analysis should be really interesting when we figure out how Manchester United managed to break down Crystal Palace, or the one I don't want to make, how Crystal Palace managed to keep United quiet. Let's hope it's not that one that I'm making. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you later.